Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. I know, as it states in the title, this is very emotional. I really probably should show the camera, just so you can see how emotional I really am. Anyway, so all right, come on, hurry up and damn refresh. Thank you. So, let's just minimize everything down. Making a little progress here and there. Couple things that I wanted to add. I haven't been home all day and haven't had all day to actually work on everything, so show you where I be. So for this to actually be a meeting spot, you see we got the walls, two identical buildings down to the same trees and everything else, and well, the bots will follow you to no end as long as they see you. So you can come over here and use a teleporter, and that'll help to get you away from them. But, they're always here. So, get off the damn stairs. What's wrong with you? So I'll kill him, and then, come over here, and, well, there's these guys standing in the doorway where I left them. Me and my trusty MP5 just mowed them down semi-auto style. But they're still here. So, hit tab key, and I can change it to 10 bots. Holy shit. Change the number that I spawn on the fly. So, now it's even more of a problem. So let's actually hit tab again, and let's just remove them all. But you can set it for remove all, and go 1, 3, 5, or 10. But I'm going to stick with remove. It doesn't actually get rid of them. You can do that manually. Stand still, you son of a bitch. So by doing that, it actually removes them from spawning. So now that they're actually gone, they won't respawn until I actually go ahead and change the count and change it from 1, 3, 5, and 10. I could actually make it, as you can see, I am not going to win any awards for quality of UI at this point. But, I wanted to get functionality first, and then worry about things, being pretty secondary. So I went back to just sticking with UE4 mannequin, default BSP geometries, and, the starter content, just so I can get back to focusing in on what really freaking matters. And, the core content of getting things functional. So you can see the sitting works. I removed the second floor and all the lighting and stuff from in here just because it was kind of pointless. It took away from actually what I was doing. Kept getting focused in on the map and not actually on the characters and the stuff you can actually do. But if you did want to, and I still have PvP disabled, just because that's not the focus of what this map is. I can re-enable it later, but just wasn't worried about it. So, in yesterday's version, I had to re-upload because the teleporter, I had one of them turned the wrong damn way. So, as I was mentioning about the emotions, so I didn't have any other better emitters. So the whole thing here is, yes, I can do emotes. But, okay, it's just the one emote, so I can hit the R key, bring up a menu, and change that to chuckle and close. And that's what that one is. He's chuckling. Bring up the menu. I can change that to yawn. So now whenever I hit the Q key, my character will yawn. Or I can change that to be really social and flip you off. I got to make some more adjustments to the animation. I got to fix that middle finger. It's just not exactly where I need it to be. And you can wave. This is just the first couple. I've got a bunch, and I'll point those out here in just a minute. Let's point things out. See, point. Okay, bad pun. All right, shit, leave me alone. But it is replicated and it is working, so that if I go in here and let's go to a test map, smaller, less things to get focused with. I go into my spawner here and I'm just going to change that number to 0 so that I can actually go in here and not have bot spawns. So lovely. Okay, and now I can just, by clicking on that, I can change the number of spawns that I want in here manually, or I can use the menu that I created, which was just a widget. But cool either way. So let's bring that into 2 players, new pie window, and this is the client. So we'll part the client here, and I'm going to bring the server over. So as you can see, we are the server, and on the left. And just because you can't see the other window doesn't really mean anything for right now. But so if I do the emote, you can see he's doing the chuckle emote. And then I come back over here to the client. Okay, client now. Hit the key. Both of them see it. But let's change that to a wave and close it. Now I hit it, and both of them see the wave. But it did not affect OMG's over here, the server. So he can actually hit our keys separately and change that to flip you off, and then sees it just fine. So that is replicating, no problem. I had a problem with it. It was being absolutely a pain in my ass trying to figure out the replication on it. And I was like, what in the hell am I doing wrong? It's got to be something simple for, the reason that, the server and the client, this is the default one. I'll probably change the default later, but it's something. Like, what the hell am I doing wrong here? Save it with 0 on there. So what I was doing was, and I'll look at the character as well. And the player character, I still need to clean things up. Hitting the tab key is what brings up the menu for the bot spawner. Let's see here. The emotes. It was like, okay, you press the R key and that brings up the widget for changing it. And then, I did a multicast and I did everything and it was just not working. And I'm like, everything I tried, it wouldn't work. And I was like, wait a minute. Why don't I take the montage to play, which I'm setting the montage to play inside the widget. So if you look in the emotes widget, what happens is you bring up your thing right here, you press your button, and I've got an emote list that I created. And I know, settle the hell down to stick on one freaking blueprint so you can see what the hell we're doing. I will relax. I just don't remember where the hell I put it. Probably in animations. Yes, because I got a montage folder. I created essentially you go to blueprints and create a structure. And that's what I did was I created a structure. And inside here, I called it chuckle, flip off, yawn, point, wave, that kind of stuff. And the actual variable type, because this is where you can save variable content and call it back later anywhere. And I named it as an animation montage, and I was able to just go ahead and select it inside here so I can choose from that animation montage. So then whenever you go into your widget or wherever you want to call it, you create a variable and you type in the name of the structure and it'll come up and it'll be this little blue node right here. So you get that and you drag off from there and you break emotes and it gives you the full list of everything that's inside that structure. So you can choose which one you want. So now whenever I click on the chuckle button, then it casts to the player and it sets montage to play to that which is chuckle, which is the chuckle montage. So it pulls that from the structure and funnels it through here into the widget so that it actually sets it here, which is actually in the player. Hope you follow that. And then in the player, started off with R for bringing up the widget menu, and then created a multicast emote. And, it's multicast. I made sure that it was reliable just because I wanted it to always be there and work. But for the most part, it just needed to be a multicast event, custom event. And I just called it multicast emote, and then ran a branch node to see if we were sitting, because there's going to be another set of emotes that are only for while you're sitting, because I have sitting animations. I have a bunch of them. I'll cover the animations here in just a minute. But you lock your character movement, because I don't want people running around doing these emotes, because sure enough, whenever you get a number of people going around, some smacktard's going to be following you around, flipping you off, just walking in circles around you, flipping you off. And you know what? I'd rather lock their movement while they're doing that emote so you can walk away from them if you want to. So it locks the movement here by getting the character movement and set movement mode to none. Okay, so then we do a reference to the mesh, play montage, and then the montage we're actually going to use is not even selected here. I ran, and of course we set the movement mode on complete so that you can resume walking afterwards, but I got the reference from the montage to play. I linked it just by dragging that into the multicast node, so it created a new variable here inside the custom event. So whenever I created the next one, which is run on server, so I called it server emote, run a switch as authority, and multicast emote, which is the reference to this guy. All I did was I passed the same montage to play directly into that server call right there. So you can see it says right there, animation montage. And then whenever I ran server emote, then, the Q, whenever you press the Q key, it actually then runs this whole sequence of stuff and tells it to use that as the montage to play. Just by doing that one thing alone, by connecting it from here to here, and then here to here, and then here to here, fixed all my problems, and it started replicating perfectly fine. And so, emotes. Like I said, I've just got the 5 in here now. That's for the bot menu, scope menu, sit down. Still a lot of little tweaks that need to go on. So like whenever you're going in and out of combat modes and using your flashlight, and I don't even know what the hell this is. This is death and life. So I'm just going to grab that and comment that. So start me on the road to and death. Getting cleaned up here. So then I can just start moving those big things around. And I mentioned before, to make sure you know what you're working on, you can change the actual color. And I'll use this one as 1, 0, 0. And I need to save that red color anyway, so okay. So I know that that is actually health, and I will put shooting in as well, because it's dealing with health, so to speak. And this is all the shooting stuff here. Not all of it, but the majority of it. Now I can just click that, and there you go. So now whenever I'm organizing my blueprint, I can actually come back in here and see by the color and start moving things around by color, and then movement modes, which would be gamepad input. I don't know why I still even have that in here. I'm not using a gamepad, but somebody might be. So we do 1 and 0.75. Gives me a nice bright yellow color. So we'll use that for inputs. Just again, so we can quickly see that if that's input, then we can all put, they can all go together near each other. And I'll do another color for function, but you get the idea. So you just go through and do all this stuff here. And yes, if you're paying attention to the blueprint, I have 2 jumps in here. This jump is controlled by one blueprint, animation blueprint, and this one is for another animation blueprint. So when you're armed, you're using a different animation blueprint, and scope. And no, I'm not going to sit here and bore you to death on this stuff. We're going to make that blue because it's visual stuff, and I'll just do 0, 0, and we'll leave it at that, 1 on blue. Let's sit down. I'll have to come up with another color for that one. Got view change stuff here. That needs to be blue. But so you get the idea of trying to organize your freaking blueprints. So animations. I'll come back and finish doing this later. So you can see how scattered this blueprint is right now. By doing all this, I can spend some time later and just organize everything in a neat fashion. So that I can, okay, these guys need to go over here, and this needs to go over there, and that kind of stuff. So we'll worry about that later. Now, I did do a video earlier on a review for an asset pack that I picked up from the marketplace today, and that would be for animations, the pedestrian animation pack. And it came with 166 animations for 25 bucks. For us poor people, that's a lot of money, 25 bucks, you know. But you think the average animations should sell for $1 per for UE4 mannequin animations. That seems logical. That's the average across the board, $1 per animation. But if that were the case, then that'd be $166 right here. So for 25 bucks, yeah, I can live with it. There's a lot of stuff. So to kind of get an idea, and I showed this in the review earlier. What the fuck did I change? I didn't change a fucking thing. Yeah, these are all the animations that come in that pack. Each of these mannequins is actually just an animation that I just shoved into the map. But holy shit on a shingle. When I started putting them in here, it's like, okay, well, I'll just line them all against this wall, then shit, I'm out of room. Okay, I'll put them on both ends and on both sides, and I still didn't have enough. So I ended up having to start stacking them in the middle. That's a lot of animations. So everything from bows to leaning up against a wall, or just folding your arms, or here is cleaning the bar. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. He's polishing his something. Like 3 different bows. There's a curtsy. There's sitting down playing cards. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly glance over some of these. All kinds of stuff of talking while sitting down, and lots of sitting animations. Talking animations. The flip-off animation I made myself, by the way. That's why it looks like crap right now. Because I didn't spend much time on it. I just kind of like, okay, raise a finger up and slightly bend it, and then there you go. I'll actually redo it later so it looks better. As whenever you go to that and flip off, if you were to look closely, I think the tip of the finger needs to be stuck out a little bit more, and it's twisted a little bit. So, but yeah, there's lots of clapping and talking, and there's smoking a pipe, lighting a cigarette, putting the cigarette out, the idle of like the intermediate, like, okay, here's the looping of him smoking, taking a drag. There's like 4 different standing smoking interactions just for a cigarette. There's more for a pipe. So I'm picking up an item and carrying it. There's also a shitload of other sit-down animations. Some of them are actually set to work like on a bar stool, leaning on a bar. So it's going to be a little interesting setting those in. Yeah, just a plethora of freaking animations. Doing sit-ups. So if you're doing a military theme and you've got your basic training area, you can have guys going from standing up idle to doing to getting down, doing sit-ups, and then standing up to recover. Lots of sitting, like sitting on a couch or whatever. And yeah, picking up items, carrying on your shoulder. Oh my god, so many animations. More picking up stuff. There's sitting down on the edge of a bed and then laying down, rolling over in bed, laying down animations. Jeez, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Like sitting here with your palms on a bar, and sitting down writing, standing up writing. I mean, just these were what they call the pedestrians, and this the name of the asset pack is pedestrians. Well, I did a review earlier, like a 15-minute video. Yes, I'm capable of doing short-ass videos. You were thinking it, you know you were. My old long-winded ass. So like leaning up against the wall and different poses and yeah. So I plan on using a lot more of these emotes, you know, other than just the 5 that I've got in here. You know, that's just and the shitty UI elements. They're just to get things functional. That's all I cared about was getting it functional. So that's that. So emotional in here. So many emotions. So yeah, that's that. 166 animations in that one freaking animation pack. Damn sure worth $25. I've already had my own death animations that were taken from the animation starter pack. The hip fire animations, and that's all from animation starter pack. The montages were just quickly thrown together. Others, there's the flip off that I got to work on. And these are the ones from that pedestrian pack. I've already retargeted them to use they came targeted to a UE4 mannequin, but not the same mannequin. So I just retargeted them to this mannequin, the regular UE4 default mannequin. So what I'll end up doing later on, this is whenever I'm working with Cinti Studios projects, which is part of why I like this project here, is because I can take all this stuff, and if I decide that I want to make a try before you buy, or just do a quick shooter demo with any of the Cinti Studios asset packs, this will even work with the simple stuff as well. Is I can sit here and just grab them, retarget the animations over to that skeleton, and then okay, I'm done. All the animations you see here can be quickly converted over to the Cinti Studios assets, simple and polygon. So I'm just gonna keep focused in on working with these animations on the UE4 mannequin. So until such time I decide to go ahead and start bringing the Cinti assets in here. But then again, I may just keep these in here. But honestly, I can't sell an asset pack with somebody else's asset pack in it. So it's not like I would have this for sale anywhere. As I said, just for in-house use, creating this, setting up the map so that I can have a meeting place. And currently right now, this is the map that's in with the build that's on whatchamacallit, on HIO. So if you wanted to play, I guess I need to go ahead and re-enable the actual player versus player combat, so people could actually set up and do this. And before I start shooting these guys, I'm going to get rid of them. I could have added the extra bit of code in there to actually despawn them once you actually select remove. But it's more fun to just shoot them. Here, kitty, kitty. So, if you want to sit here and play with yourself, play by yourself, you could do it that way and be able to just spawn in one bot or 10 and just sit there and shoot and play by yourself. But if you want to turn the bots off, I said I'll re-enable player versus player. So if you did want to actually carry on with some player versus player combat, then you could use these as opposing forwards. May even do, like I said, I was thinking about doing a team system to where you could on the fly say, okay, now I want to be red team, or now I want to be blue team, or whatever, and just everybody pick a team and just go on the fly. That's something that you can do relatively easy with it to replicate correctly. So that if I just say I want to be on the red team, then I just bring up the menu and I say, okay, now I'm on red team, and my UE4 mannequin goes from white to red. Same thing for blue; they would turn blue or whatever. And you know, since you got two opposing forts here or two opposing buildings, you could sit there and have a battle back and forth. The only health kit that's available in the entire map is dead square in the center. And the thing about the little cheapy health kit that I built, you can set the amount that it heals, change it from 25 to 50 or 500. Yeah, respawn delay, it will come back in 5 seconds, or now I can say 10. Now it won't respawn until after 10 seconds is up. You can put 120, so it takes 2 minutes, whatever. You can set it just by where you spawn it. If I spawn another one in the map, each one that I spawn in has its own individual amount of heal that I can put to it. So that's kind of nice. I know you can't see underneath my beautiful face, but got everything clean, neat, and organized inside the map. But having the ability to come in on the fly and change the number of bots, say if I want 10, and it will just, over the next few seconds, it will spawn them all in. So now you've got 10 bots that will be running around. Some collision concessions that are going on here that they keep flying up in the air whenever they hit each other. So not that big of a deal, but you see, you're getting thrown inside the building and shit. So I can come back in here now and select remove bots, and it will change that number to 0 for how many are allowed to be as the max spawn. So if you want to now, you can go ahead and turn them off and just hunt these guys down. They'll all be gone. Still haven't done anything with the aim space yet. Very low on the food chain of things. Little things like being able to see each other and which direction you're facing and that kind of stuff. Come here. Trying to hide up there. So it's, you know, right now without PvP turned on, it's just a shoot bots game and just hang out and have meetings and stuff like that. Check and see if any of them are still hiding in the rooms in here. But with having the meeting area, the whole concept was to be able to come over here, sit down, everybody chill out. Like I said, I will be adding in a different sit-down animation, a different sit-idle animation, and a different get-up animation. And then a series of, since you have the wrong window, since you do have the ability to change your emote, being able to do that I think was important. I'll figure out another style later on, but if you just want to do the chuckly emote, okay, there you go. There you're chuckling. But I'll have these for standing up, and then whenever you go to sit down, it will detect that you're sitting down because I added in a yes, whatever. I didn't change anything, but whatever. Sit down emotes. So just got the 5 emotes in here now, but it asks if you're sitting. So what I'll do later on is it's verifying that you are not sitting down, and if you are, then I'll just start compacting these in other custom events and stuff later. But if you are sitting down, then it will then pick from a different set of emotes. And like I said, I saved those emotes inside of here in a structure so that I can call them down. And I'll change the name of this probably to standing emotes. Then I'll make another one just for sitting emotes. And that I think would work out better, because now with the ability to do the different emotes, like, okay, while you're in here and let's go ahead and go to spawns, secret spawner, let's turn off spawns, excuse me, let's turn it to 0. And now whenever I go to play, I'll have 0 spawns. So I'm not worried with bots. I can turn it off that way, or I can actually turn it on and off with this menu. I need to spend some time here sooner or later on the actual looks of the UI, but for now, I just wanted functionality. So while you're sitting down, like hanging out with your friends, having a meeting, doing whatever, so this is just a temporary map, just to kind of get things rolling. Um, so you can sit here, do emotes while you're sitting down doing that, and if you try to do it right now, then you're not going to do anything. You can hit that button all day long, and it's just not going to do anything. That's because you're sitting down. One thing at a time. Like I said, tomorrow I'll probably add in the sitting emotes. I'll redo the sitting animations and that kind of stuff. But I figure if I turn on the team feature and player versus player combat, then you've always got this. And if you're all white colored, not being racist here, but all of you white bots look alike. So you don't want to look like just any other white UE4 mannequin. You'll never see somebody on the other side of the map if they're in another room. It just makes it really difficult. So I'll do that to change colors out. I mean, I could do that now if I wanted to, because it's like super complicated. Like the bots being that they're red. All I did was go into the materials folder and my assets, and I already had a copy of the original UE4 mannequin skeleton, and I don't know, let's say like red chest. We'll duplicate that, and we'll call this M underscore blue underscore chest, chest. It's the chest logo. And then go inside of it. And if you're changing these over, you have to make sure you click on the body color here, and then click on this, click on the color you want, and then there you go, save. And then let's make a duplicate of the body, and we'll call this M underscore blue underscore body. So then when you do that one, oh no, it's got to compile shaders. Just drag that on over here to where you see body color. There you go. Select that, change it to your blue, and there you go. And save. And all done before the shaders have compiled. Why it's that many shaders to compile for one material, but I don't know. Good coffee. That's actually Folgers Black Silk with a little bit of regular creamer, and then I just put a little splash of peppermint mocha. Alright, so that's good. So now we got blue. So if I want players now to be blue, I can just go back into the player blueprint. I can do it this way. No, asshole. Go in there. Select my mesh. And blue body. And then the second one is blue chest. So now I'm blue. I'm blue. Just like all the emotions from this. So now, go back in and pray. Now, since all these freaking walls are white and stuff, it might make it a little bit easier to see other players if you're wanting to shoot at them. So you know that red is bots and blue is players. So again, if you just want to go in here and just spawn one bot. And there he is. So you shoot him down, kill him. Yeah, it's going to bug me until I actually put the aim spaces in here. So just that one will keep spawning. And if you're like, whatever, screw it. Want to get rid of all of them. Hit remove bots. And manually remove him. He's gone. So, yeah. That's the update. That's for where I am. I didn't get a whole lot done today if you look at what's actually there. But it's just a matter of the two actual menus, which is this one for adjusting the number of spawns on the bots. So you can remove them. You could add 10 of them, 5 of them, 3 of them, 1. I could have put a slider in there and adjusted it that way, or what have you. I don't know what I want to do for my UI yet. And also the ability to change your emotes with replication on all of it. So, anybody got any questions, give me a shout. Still need to get some good emitters for in here, because that's just like, a little on the meh side. Yeah, I did everything yesterday on yesterday's build, and it was like, okay, no problem. And I was getting ready to package it up. I already had it built, and was getting ready to upload it, and realized that I put this booth, because it's got glass on 3 sides, I put the damn teleport booth in backwards. And thankfully, the collision box was sticking through the side a little bit. So you're still able to teleport through it, but I actually was able to turn it around. So it is now turned around correctly, so you can actually step into the teleporter on either one of the 2 buildings, and it works. Just trying to come up with something that looked similar to a phone booth. Well, try to be totally perfect. So I can think of there's one thing in the Polygon Sci-Fi asset pack that would look cool. It's their VR booth, but that would be good for a teleporter. Questions, comments, complaints? Ideas, concepts. Now we're swarming with 10 bots. Run, Cletus, run. So yeah, they get confused whenever you go places they can't. The nav mesh panels won't exactly work too well on this. But everything that's here is replicated and replicates just fine. So in theory, the updated version I put on to itch.io tonight will be this version right here. Unless I decide I want to change anything else or add anything else in. And let's turn off the bots. They're a distraction. So, yeah. I was happy to get those 2 little things working. And especially with dealing with getting that that animation pack. Was quite content with that. I've got a bunch of other animations, but they're all combat animations. And I want to focus more on the other stuff first, getting all of the social things done, and I'll probably add some more emotes into the emote list, or just realize that that's okay and use them as a premium content for later or whatever. I don't really want to focus in on maps because honestly, this is not I'm going to be using Cindy Studios asset to my final project. So, and I don't want to just clone this over and start working on a separate version of this where it has the Cindy stuff in there, and then realize that I want to add more stuff, then I got to come back in here and add it, delete what I did on the Cindy version, and then go back and forth. So, a little tossed on that. But I know all these animations are going to work. I've looked at all of them just about. Well, I've looked at all of them because I put them into that one map, but I want to start setting up some things like don't save. How about that much? By looking at them in here, I know there's things like, well, there's push-ups. You've got if you're wanting to do a military theme, you could set up a line of soldiers that are actually doing the push-ups and the sit-ups, or you can do a bar scene where people are just chilling out, or people sleeping and tossing over in bed or what have you. And I see there's 2 different ones for rolling over from flat to the back, but not from the back to the side. Unless you want to reverse the animations. You got the guys chilling at the bar. They look identical. You almost got to kind of look. The hand placement's a little bit different, but you'll sometimes see, well, okay, the head's moving in a different way. You'll see, if you look at them, there are no duplicates on this map, and this map's not going to be available in the actual release on itch.io. like to see some actual eating animations. I don't have anything here for eating. There's one, I believe, that's sitting down drinking. Got smoking, but I like to have eating and drinking, both standing and sitting down. That way, whenever I go to add the hunger and thirst system in, whenever you actually consume something, whether it's food or drink, it looks like you're eating something or drinking something. I don't want you to be limited to only sitting down and drinking. I think one of the ones was actually standing at the bar drinking. Not exactly sure. That's actually the one on the right's yawning. Because that is close window. There's no bot spawner on this map anyway, so. Yawn. You see, that's the yawning emote that this guy on the end over here is doing. So I'll actually come through here and look and try to figure out which one's which. This dude's doing the Captain Morgan. He's jacking his leg up and getting into this pose. This one's scratching his chin with his right hand. And this one's doing it with his left hand. Could probably use one of those and just modify it to drink, and one of them to modify for eating. Maybe even like that one right there for eating. Yeah, I could probably modify those in here. That one looks like he's eating too, so I don't know. But yes, I'm yawning. And I want to make sure that I give a proper wave to oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Yeah. There. So, alright, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'm going to get back to work. Try to see if I can pump out at least one or two more things tonight before I package it up and update it on Itch. So, bye. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, join my Discord channel, send me all your monies, that kind of stuff. Alright guys, we'll see you.